Hey everyone, this is my earliest blooming panicle hydrangea. I am not sure the variety of it. I do believe, I want to say it's firelight, but this is grown from a cutting and it is big and beautiful and it's starting to turn pink on me. This is mid-June and I garden in zone 8A. Alabama, and as you know, most of our panicle hydrangeas don't actually turn any kind of shade of pink that we all want to see on those pictures that proven winners have. But this one is actually doing it for me. I think it's because we actually had a spring, and while it is the earliest blooming, the nighttime actually dropped down into the 50s and 60s. But now it is getting really hot and humid, and I think it's at its end of the life cycle because you can see it's starting to brown in some spots. But this is what I think we all want to see in the South when we grow panicle hydrangeas, and we rarely ever see this, but because this one is almost at its mature bloom and starting to fade, as soon as it starts to go brown, I'm going to cut it back and get a second flush and see what that takes me. This is the one that last year I had 2 sets of blooms on it within 1 year, and most of the panicle hydrangea, you can generally they bloom once and then they're done for the year. So this one, you can see how beautiful it is. I wanted to take a picture earlier or do a video earlier, but time got away from me, and since we are pending the upcoming storm moving in, I thought I would do this before the storm hit, and it may or may not break most of these blooms or branches off the flower. You can see we've already got heavy rain. We've been trying to work and grade this area. The hubby was hoping that we would have drier weather, but because we didn't get the April showers that we usually get, now it's almost migrating to June when we're getting all the rain, and that's when he took the time off to do some groundwork that we were trying to do. So right now, this is such a beautiful statement in the garden. It doesn't look like it because of the surrounding water and mud, the red clay that we have here, but this is such a beautiful, I would definitely recommend, if you can have any kind of hydrangeas in the South, get a panicle hydrangea. The mophead hydrangea is great, but that requires so much shade and watering. I just haven't had great luck with the mophead hydrangeas. And look at all of the pollinators it attracts. There are so many life forms on each of these panicles. Can you see how beautiful it is? Just the pink blush it has on it. And then all the other panicle hydrangeas that I have, the limelight is starting to just barely flesh out. Let me show you what those look like, and you can see the difference in what an early blooming panicle hydrangea looks like versus the ones that are currently starting to bloom and flesh out now. And this over here, I believe, is my limelight hydrangea. I've taken so much cuttings from these, it's hard to tell what is the actual name of them. But again, it's another panicle hydrangea, but you can see these ones are barely just pushing out. This one over here is starting, and then, you know, as they age, they get brighter and brighter. So when they first start, they're kind of this chartreuse green color. And then as they age, they turn into this, like you can see how it's starting to get whiter. And then it'll flush bright white. And then after the bright white, if you don't have temperature that cools down at nighttime, in the South, they go brown. So once they go brown, I cut them off. And because we garden in zone 8A in the South, we get, I would say, oh goodness, our summer is such a long season. We can almost get another flush from the panicle hydrangeas. If I cut this back, let's say mid-July, I'll get another flush. And then with that flush comes hope that it will run into the fall time, and then that's when the temperature cools down a little bit, and then you hope to get that flush of the blush color as you do on the other one. But isn't that a cool combination between the panicle hydrangea and these are allium over here? So it just kind of gives you a lot of garden interest. And this one is my Pinky Winky panicle hydrangea. It's barely just pushing out the blooms. I mean, these are all the blooms it has in it, but it hasn't even flowering out to where you can see. But these ones are really pretty, and this is the one I train into a tree form. Just doing just one trunk, but you can see from one trunk if you don't. They tend to be more of a bush, so if you don't get to them, they start to bush out really bad. But this one I wanted to train into a tree form, and it's doing great along with this one over here. But this one I kept into a bush form. Now once they bloom out, you'll see like this little flower will come out. So all these tiny little whites will eventually, as you know, turn into this flower, and then you get just a cone-shaped panicle looking flower that's really pretty. And this one over here is another limelight hydrangea that I train into a tree form. You can see tree form meaning single trunk. So there's the trunk here, and then I prune it back really hard, and it literally grows about 2 feet each year. So as you can see, it's probably a good 6 feet right now, and then next year it'll get even taller than that. But these are really hardy stems, and the flowers are looking beautiful. Once the panicle starts to actually shine, look, you can see the whiteness of that one. I wish I can get an aerial view of this guy because he is just glorious in its form. I like to plant at least one on each side of the house shed that we're building. I think that would be a really good look. Now last year I came in and I pruned, gosh, down here. So you can see down here, let me zoom out a little bit, is where I prune. So I cut it back really hard. I probably kept about a good 6-inch of it. So right here was where I prune. And then from here, you can see this is new growth from this year. So there's 3 stems that came off of this one. And they basically pushed out probably good, some of them are like 3 feet. Like if you followed this one, this is almost good 3 feet coming off the base. And look at how sturdy the stems are. But with this storm, I'm not sure if it will take it or not. I think we're supposed to be getting whatever tropical storm that is coming through from the Texas area and hitting along the southern area of the state. But isn't she pretty? Or he, she, it? But this tree is just amazing. It's massive and it's beautiful. I think the one thing I would have wished was maybe making the trunk a little bit taller. But I know that some people don't like it because they are so top heavy that when you get these storms that come in, the trees tends to break or flop over just because the flowers, the panicles are so big and massive. It can't hold the wind and the rain and the storm. But this one I would say is fairly sturdy. I mean, it's still, you know, any storm can topple a big, massive pine tree. But it's doing really good. I'm really impressed with it. Once it's done blooming, we'll hopefully get another flush. And then after that, I'll cut back even more. I do have another one kind of similar in size. So if you can see it be mirroring one side to the next, I like to transplant this one, put him to the house, and then place him on both sides of the house. I think that would be really pretty. And then I have this one, which I don't know the variety of this panicle, but I wish I could put this one, the limelight, which is this one over here. And then I want to say, I think this is the vanilla strawberry or strawberry sundae, along with this one over here. All 3 are panicle hydrangeas, but if you look at them and if you plant them right next to each other, they give such a different contrast because of the, I guess the time frame that they bloom, because this one is barely blooming, coming out, and then that one's all white, and then that one over there is just barely pushing lime green to coming into its glory. So I definitely want to see if I can propagate more, and then from then just grow a whole bunch of limelights or panicle hydrangea hedge. See, this one was barely just pushing out the flowers, but I think once it does, it'll be great. Now, the one that I showed you that's actually in ground, that is a tree form, this is the other one that I want to use to mirror it. See how the stem at the base is about the same size as that one in the ground? And this one's stressed out really bad. When they stress out and they don't get enough water, because the canopy is so massive, I think when it rains, all the leaves kind of block the rain from coming into the pot. So then it got really dry and I didn't notice it. So you can see all the dead leaves that it was starting to stress out. So I had to make sure come in and give it extra water and extra attention. And you want to make sure you do that, especially while it's pushing out flower and new growth, just to keep it from going brown, because the panicle hydrangeas are notorious for going brown on you when they don't have enough water. So this will be the second one that I want to place on the other side of the house, just to have that two mirror. And then I think the two of them are the limelight, so they should flower at the same time. I think that's probably one of the hardest thing is when you take cuttings, you don't know what variety. And then if you try to plant them and try to mirror one side to the next side, if they don't bloom at the same time, it looks really off. So it kind of offsets each other, and you kind of want to make sure that they bloom at the same time. So that's something you learn as you grow as a gardener, especially when you're trying to root your own and getting more plants that way, just because plants are really expensive. I mean, some plants are definitely worth it. I've definitely spent the money and purchasing a plant that I really want to get. But the panicle hydrangeas are easy to propagate, so you just need to make sure that you're planting the same ones if you want to mirror the same look from one side to the other side. And I think that is it. There is, sorry for the weed and the messes. We haven't had a chance to cut the grass because it's been so wet that I just haven't been able to get in. But I think this one is the Pinky Winky, but you can see it's even more late to bloom than the other ones that are in ground. See, these ones barely set bud. Like, look, these buds are barely just coming out. And I actually had trained this into a tree form, but this winter we had, I don't know what happened, but for some reason the tree form in itself died back, and then it pushed out all new growth at the base. So I don't know why the trunk itself died back, but since it's pushing out new growth, I'm just going to leave it in this bush form and then take cutting from it, and then I'll grow more into tree forms. Sometimes it just happens. You don't know why it happens. It's not like the plant died because I've got new growth on it, but for some reason the stem didn't take. And I had several of them that happened like that this year. This one, of course, survived and it's still in its tree form. This one over here did the same thing. It was tree form all the way up, and I cut it so that it would grow up here, so you would have this beautiful canvas just like the panicle one. But for some reason it died all the way back, and now it has new growth, and these new growth is coming out. And likewise, that one survived, but this one did not over here. And it's weird, it's still growing, so I don't know what's going on, why it died back. See how I had it trained into this stalk of a tree form, but this tree form died all the way back, and these were supposed to be where the new growth would come out. But it died all the way back, but right next to it, it sent out, this huge, big, massive stalk, which then I will turn this one into a tree form, cut some of this back, and see, it's got one flower here, but each of these stems will produce its own flower. But for some reason, this one is deciding to flower first, and then after that, all of these other ones will bloom. So that's all right. I can get multiple flushes of bloom from this one tree stem. But see how it sent out another one? So this one is, again, not as big, though the same age. This one, and this one, same age. but yet you can see the difference in the amount of energy it receives. So this one is monstrous. This one is barely even a stick. And then this one is maybe less than a pencil size, like a number 2 pencil size. But this one is a beast of a stem right there. So you never know what happens in the garden. Sometimes things change and you just go with it. And this one looks like it's growing some kind of fungus or moss or... Huh, that's interesting. Oh, a mushroom. It's growing a mushroom on the stem. So that's interesting. There's all these mushroom growth on it. So that's it for my panicle hydrangea. I really wanted to show you guys because it's very hard to wait for the flowers to be in perfect, like your garden to be in perfect showcase. It's never like that. You'll have consecutive things where some plants are in full bloom, like this chase tree that is beautiful and glorious. And then while I'm waiting for my hardy hibiscus to push out and be glorious so I can do... Oh, look at this bird. Can you see that bird? He like wants to come into my garden. Hello. Right there. Can you see? He's like, what are you doing in my garden? Hello, bird. And then those are more hardy hibiscus that I rooted from cuttings. This is the mother plant. You can see the mother plant is crazy mature. And then those little ones are second year in the ground. This will be their second year. But they were grown from cutting. And look at this color, this purple and red together. Isn't that beautiful? And the alliums are about at its end of its life cycle. So while one thing is in its prime, another is about spent, and then one is still coming. Another hydrangea that's coming in. I do want to show you, this one hasn't even, I don't think it has any blooms at all, but I think this is the really older variety of a panicle hydrangea, but it's really pretty. This one has like a prolific flower that the little tiny flowers that come out, it's big and luscious, and it looks like a bouquet in itself. So I can't wait to show you what that one will look like. I'm not sure. I got that one from a cutting, so I don't even know what kind of variety of hydrangea it is. But right behind it and is the limelight hydrangea. So I'll get like same but different. So both are panicle hydrangeas, is just 2 different varieties, so they push out a little bit different. And everything is just beautiful in the garden right now. The cone flowers have been blooming their head off, and they are still blooming their head off. I gotta come in and weed eat. But again, the hardy hibiscus is just pushing out, and my phlox are coming out. I need to do, I think I might do like 2 garden tour per month now that everything is flushing out, because I feel like if I only do once a month, I miss some of the flowers that are in its glory, and then it dies back while something else is coming, like the phlox is just coming on its prime. Oh, here comes the rain. So everything's been growing, looking beautiful. Oh, here it comes. So now it's time to go inside. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this little tour of the panicle hydrangeas, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye, everyone.